Now we're going to talk a little bit about spoke tension. Now, a wheel needs to have the proper spoke tension to remain stable and to stay in true. Now, the rim manufacturer is going to set the recommended spoke tension range for their rims. And we'll use a tensiometer like this Park TM1 to measure the tension on the wheels. Now, one of the symptoms that you're going to find with a wheel that is under tensioned is that the spoke's going to stress a little bit more and they're going to be prone to breakage. Now, a symptom of a wheel that's over tensioned is you might experience some rim damage or hub damage. You can check the spoke tension on front wheels on either side, on the drive side or the non-drive side. Front wheels are fairly symmetrical, so the tension is going to be about the same on both sides. But when you're checking tension on rear wheels, you need to check the tension only on the drive side. Okay, the drive side is going to have higher spoke tensions than the non-drive side, and this is the side that you need to worry about as far as getting close to the manufacturer's rim, the rim manufacturer's recommendations for spoke tension. You want to check the tension of many spokes. I like going 10 spokes, but you want to get an average tension of all the spokes on one side. In this case, I'm going to start at the valve hole and measure the tension of the first spoke going counterclockwise. I'm going to use the tensiometer, put it on the spoke, let loose, and I'm going to read the value on the tensiometer, which this one says about 24. And I'm going to write that down, okay? And then I'm going to go to the next spoke and measure the tension on that spoke. This one reads about 26. I'm going to write that down. And I'm going to get the tension of 10 spokes, add it up, and get the average tension of this wheel, okay? And then I'm going to use the calibration chart that comes with the tensiometer and line up or look on the chart on what my average tension was, and it will give me a average spoke tension in kilograms of force. Generally on wheels like this, it's going to be around 100 kilograms of force. But remember, the rim manufacturer sets the spoke tension for their wheel, for their rim. Once we figured out if the spoke is under tensioned or over tensioned, then what we'll do is to correct that tension, we'll either tighten up all the spokes on the wheel, both the drive side and the non-drive side, a quarter turn each if the wheel is under tensioned, or if the wheel is over tensioned, we'll loosen every spoke, both the drive side and the non-drive side, a quarter turn, and recheck the tension. After you have recorded spoke tension of every spoke, you can either manually calculate the average spoke tension, or you can go to Park Tools Wheel Tension app at www.parktool.com/WTA and enter in each spoke's spoke tension into their application. With their app, that will give you a visual representation of the overall spoke tension of the wheel. It will tell you which spokes are pulling harder than other spokes on the same side of the wheel. It can also show you if there's any kind of damage to the wheel, like the bent rim we talked about earlier. You might see that some spokes might be pulling a little bit harder than adjacent spokes. So you can do something like tension balancing. For instance, if this spoke right here measured a 26 on the tensiometer, but the spokes on either side of that spoke measured 24 on the tensiometer, this one spoke is pulling a little bit harder. Okay, they're not really sharing the load equally. And for a stable wheel, you want all the spokes to be sharing the load equally. So what you can do, you can tension balance these three spokes. What you would do is you'd take the spoke that's the tightest and loosen up that spoke a half a turn, and then the spokes on either side, you can tighten those up a quarter turn each. and then recheck the tension. And you're going to probably find that the middle spoke has dropped down to a 25 on the scale, and the two adjacent spokes have bumped up to 25. Those are some of the wheel repairing tips beyond just standard wheel truing. If you have any questions, you can visit one of our spin doctors at our performance bicycle stores, call one of our tech services representatives, or visit us at performancebike.com. And have a great ride.